Guys, welcome back to another edition of Conversations with Kenny, brought to you by the Call Up Podcast. This week, we're talking more AEW news. You already know the deal. AEW came out with Who We Are. It's a compilation album, Volume 1, of some amazing artists telling the stories of different AEW talent from Nyla Rose, Jay Cargill, Mark Henry, Anthony Ogogo, and I am fortunate to talk to one of the producers slash rapper on the album. His name is Rich. He is from Tampa, Florida. Rich, what is going on, my brother? How you feeling today?
Oh, I'm chilling, man. Glad to be here, man.
We're glad to have you here, man. I first of all, congratulations on the project.
Thank you so much.
I've been hearing some really great things about this album on Twitter and on Instagram and Facebook. It seems that everybody is giving you guys like great reviews on this album. I can't wait to sit here and get my physical copy. I got to like hear like little snippets here and there of different tracks. So when I had the opportunity, I reached out to you and you said, "Sure, I'll come on, talk
No
about this
doubt, man.
project." I know you're probably really busy, especially being in Tampa with Revolution this week.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely
You
headed
guys
out
have
there.
you guys have that show on Saturday. So I want to touch base a little bit on that. But I wanted to ask, like, how was the process of just getting like each track together? Because it looks like I was looking over the track list. You're like one of the main producers on here, and then you're featuring on here too because you're rapping on the album as well, right?
Yeah, I'm doing a verse on the Nyla Rose song.
Okay, so I just want to break down like just each one with the Mark Henry, like with that one, like how difficult was that just to like make sure you actually told like Mark's story the right way?
So since I was only producing the Mark Henry song, the what I had to kind of bring to the table was making sure the thing felt big.
Hmm.
When I think of Mark Henry, obviously you think of a big guy, big
Right.
legacy. He's a former Olympian, so I kind of took that slant on it. So a lot of pressure on that one because the last person to actually do some, rap production for Mark Henry within the wrestling world, if you think about it, was Juicy J from 3 6
Wow.
Mafia. So the next person was me. So I was not gonna try to half step here. So I kind of wanted to go a different way than Juicy J did. Juicy J's was
Hmm.
like more, violent, straight to the point. Mine was a little bit more regal, a little bit more lush, I'd say, but still, tear the trunk up a little bit.
So did you get to sit down with Mark and just like go over and say like, okay, like this is what I have in mind as like a sound to basically tell your story?
Unfortunately, I did not, but I got kind of past what he was looking for through some
Hmm.
intermediaries, and I got the thumbs up. I heard that he loved the track. I, will put some info exclusively here. I haven't shared anywhere else, but
Hmm.
I heard through different places that if he ever wrestles again, he'd like to use it as his theme song, which would be really dope for myself and
Hmm.
Montezi and Josiah Williams. That would be big, big.
Oh man, that would be big because I mean Mark hasn't wrestled in quite a while, so um, for him to to step back into a ring will be great, and especially with a new theme, especially with this one here that I got to listen to it, and I would love to just to hear this in a big stadium,
Man, me
and
too.
just get everybody's like reaction to this.
Yeah, I would like to hear it too because I think there's a certain way that it would carry, like based on like
Mhm.
the bass of the song. And I listened to it in the car, and I shot over the stems for anyone that's looking at this from like a producer angle.
Mhm.
So I wanted them to make sure they had everything they needed to make sure it was mixed properly. I sent them a great mix myself too, so they kind of picked and chose, and I listened to it in the car, and it sounds like it's beating the trunk up a little bit.
That man, that's always good. The I was looking at a video that you did, right? And you were breaking down the Jay Cargill track itself, and you said that this is the first time you've ever done a beat like this. So
Yes,
like how much pressure was that to
big.
like make sure, like just to make sure like that you got this right and they love this?
So originally the Jay Cargill song, it kind of started like as a hip hop beat. Like there's an entirely different beat for that one, which
Hmm.
still maybe end up getting used, but
Okay.
it kind of came back and they were like, yeah, Jade's looking for, more of like a dance hall feel, something like that. She's a really big fan of that. I believe she has roots in Jamaica. So I was like, man, what am I gonna do? Because I've never made anything like this. I didn't want to lose the opportunity to try to pass it off to somebody else. So, they
Hmm.
would get that chance. I was like, well, let me see, what is going on in dance hall right now. I started listening to a lot of the modern stuff, like the different modern playlists that are on Spotify. And I still wasn't getting a grasp. So I started
Hmm.
thinking about like when I was growing up, I was a big fan of like Tonto Metro Devontae, Kevin Little, Wayne Wonder, and I was like, man, that's kind of some of the dancehall stuff that I like or whatever. And I could easily kind of connect to that. And I just tried to mimic a lot of the stuff that I heard and then think about, hey, if Kevin Little was going to get on this beat, how would I want it to sound for him right now? And, I just kind of pieced it together, found the tempos that typically go with, dance hall. And, I took some of the elements that I knew a dance hall song had of that
Hmm.
time, where I was like, man, I want the drums to feel like real and, just real kind of island feel as
Right.
far as like the electric pianos and, some other things. But uh, I think it turned out like pretty great. It's probably, it changes all the time with what my favorite one is, but at this
Hmm.
current moment it's my favorite beat that I produce of the three.
Man, that's great. Um, Tony Khan was on a media call today, and he was saying how a lot of the talent loves the music, like the talent is on the album itself. They love the tracks that were made, and a couple of them are thinking of switching their entrance themes to what the album is playing right now. I know with Jay Cargill, she's playing more of a heel. This sounds more of like a baby face, role theme. So hopefully if she does turn babyface at some point in her career, do you think that this
And
will be played, or are we gonna get another track from you again?
I mean, there could always be. I'll hold out hope that there's always work in the future to do. But
Hmm.
like you said, the song that we did, I don't think it would fit her current
Hmm.
presentation right now. But when she does turn babyface, and I'm pretty sure she will one day, just like she's a superstar. So I think it would fit if she decided to go that direction. And Reg and Teasy and Anthony King, they all did their thing on that song to really make it come alive. I just made the
Hmm.
beat and then they had to fill it in. And I think that chorus, it goes like that song is really hot. And I think it's cool, for a lot of the people that may have the chance, if somebody wants to change the theme to something they made, because that's like a lot of hard work. A lot of people been dreaming about this stuff. Like, they always wanted a promotion to wrap their arms around them. And then, not every wrestler is going to want to, do that. But just the fact that, a couple people like I've seen, freak out, their songs are being played on dark. Their songs are being profiled into pieces. Like that's all really cool stuff. And, I hope I get the chance to share in that.
Hmm. And yeah, I mean, one of the things like when AEW announced that they were gonna make this album, for me, I was just so curious as to like what this album was gonna entail. Just because a lot of like the wrestling albums we've gotten so far have been really like rock driven. So this is just strictly like hip hop feel. Were you a little nervous as far as like what the reception would be, for this
Um,
album when it came to wrestling fans? Because I know for like a hip hop fan, they'll love to hear this, especially like if they're a casual wrestling fan, it'll get them more engaged to say like, man, I wonder who is Jay Cargill, who's Mark, if you, oh, I wonder what Mark Henry's doing now, who's Nyla Rose, and all the other art, talent that's featured on here, especially like with like Max Caster, um, like what were your thoughts going in?
I wasn't really concerned about the reception because I know how popular hip hop is, in America. It's the number one genre,
Hmm.
pretty much, going in music right now. So as far as the wrestling fans, like, not everyone's closed minded, and I think people would actually be impressed with the variance that's on the album. It's not strictly like a hip hop album. There are some people like doing stuff over some boom bap stuff. Like my man
Hmm.
True God, he's doing some stuff for Lee Moriarty on there, real swaggy, real like laid back and cool. And then you like look at Anthony Bowen's song, and it's kind of like an alternative rock song. Sonny Kiss has a song that's on the album, and Sonny is it's like a dance, EDM song. So like there's a lot of different stuff. Like I produced dance hall on there, never done that before.
Hmm.
And then like there's trap beats. There's a lot of variety and versatility. And I thought if everyone brought their A game, we wouldn't really have to worry about the reception, because I think the love for the project has done some of the stuff where people were talking down when it first came out, because when you first hear the idea, it's like, well, what is this thing? It's coming out during Black History
Hmm.
Month. Is it pandering?
Yeah,
Is it something
that
like
was
that?
yeah.
And there were jokes to be had, and stuff like that, but and some of them were funny, but I
Hmm.
knew at the end of the day that I wasn't going to step to the plate whack, and I'm glad that everybody else kind of had that same mentality. And we all put some on here that no one can ever take away. It may be volume
Hmm.
one, it may come out with two, three, four, five, but we'll
Yeah.
always be on the first one, and hopefully ones in the future as well.
Yeah, because that's true. Because I remember when they came out with this, and they said, "Yeah, it's gonna come out in February." I report a lot of like wrestling news. I'm not a journalist; I'm a fan. So when I give everything from like a fan's perspective of things, and when they said, "Yeah, AEW is coming out with this album," I said, "When is it coming out?" And they said February. And not from I was one of those people where I was like, "Huh." Like, and I was like, what kind of album is this? And they was like, it's a hip hop album. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a chance. I was like, please don't do anything crazy. And then I started to get like all the reports of like who's gonna be on this album, who's producing this album and stuff. And I'm I follow a lot of you guys that are on the album, so I was just like, okay, like this looks like it's gonna be a good project. Just don't let anybody jump on this that is going to try to rap. No disrespect to John Cena. Amazing wrestler, amazing. Some of his raps, I was like, I think you should just stick to wrestling.
So
You
what
know?
you're saying is they should have never let Cena spit with Wiz Khalifa? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yes. Like, and I know a friend of mine listens to this. I'm a big Cena fan, and he's gonna be like, I knew it. I knew there was a little flaw in this, but yeah, but I was really impressed with the preview clips that I've heard of this album. The reception has been very well received between the wrestling community and the hip hop community. And what I love about this is that this is not the end, because when you put volume one, you just can't end it on volume one,
Right. And there's
right?
always going to be new wrestlers coming in. So there's going to be
Exactly.
more people to make music about, it's a business. So maybe there's spots that open up on the albums that, might not, necessarily, someone that's on number one may not be on number four. So there's always going to be, the chance to do more.
Was there anybody in the AEW roster that you wanted to work with that didn't quite make the album right now?
I probably would say Keith Lee.
Okay.
Just with the timing of everything, like
Hmm.
he didn't line up. Like his signing wasn't public, so it
Right.
wasn't something someone could really try to fight for. But I'm definitely a big fan of Keith Lee's old indie theme where he was rapping to the ring, and it was like some soldiers in here and some warriors too. Like, I would love to reproduce that for him.
I have that feeling you already have this beat. You already
It's
done.
all in my
It's
head.
a,
I just
all
got to put it down.
you're just waiting for that call to just say like, I'm working with Keith Lee. I already got it. It's been in the can for the last 4 months. Here you go. I'm gonna
Yep.
send it to you. When you heard everybody lay their vocals on the track and you heard everything already done, the back end, I know as a producer, and some producers say like, man, I when I heard them rap on this, in my mind, I already wanted to change the beat up a little bit. Did this happen to you?
It did not, but I would say everyone else that jumped on the beats, like they came on them correct. So
Mhm.
I'm usually pretty confident when I create something that'll be it. The only thing that I would probably find myself changing, like if I was real picky and I had like ultimate final control over everything, I might have done some
Mhm.
different beat drops, like drop out the beat at a certain time, different stuff like that. But as far as like the sound and all the sounds I used and putting it together, like I was pretty satisfied with what I came up with.
Okay. Last question. I seen you worked with Swerve on Big Sis
Indeed.
birthday. Great track when I heard it. How did you guys connect? And like,
Oh man, that's a
how
long
did this
story.
how did this project come about?
All right, so shout out to my man Floyd Johnson of All Things Elite podcast on the Social Suplex Podcast Network, also where I host One Nation Radio, um, with my boy James Boyd. And I actually was on a show where he was interviewing Montezi, who's Swerve's partner in the Swerve City rap group. Me and Montezi kind of just had a kindred kind of spirit when we were talking to each other, and then we kind of discovered that we lived like 20 minutes away from each other. So we had a long conversation. I started sending him, music back and forth. And then from there, he was like, yeah, man, Swerve is wanting to learn how to make beats at the time. And this is like probably the middle of 2020, if I'm not mistaken. And they were like, he has Pro Tools on, how he wants to do it. So I was like, once again, not wanting to lose the opportunity. I've never made beats in Pro Tools.
Hmm.
However, the beats that I did were in FL Studio. So I was like, all right, this is going to be what I do. I'm going to give myself a crash course on how to do it in Pro Tools so I can teach them that. But I'll say, hey, if you really want the sauce, I'll show you like what I'm a master at, which is, FL
Right.
Studio. We start getting there and kicking it and discovering, me and Swerve, like we swap numbers, texting the whole week. I drive out to where he's located, and we could just kind of hit it off, like chemistry from the jump, just playing different songs, talking about each other's influences and backgrounds. And sooner or later, we're working, hanging out, the next couple months. And between him and Teasy, they asked me if I'd like to produce a lot of their second album, GPS. I ended up doing 10 songs on that one, and ever since then, we've just been locked in, working, just trying to take it to another level. Like they've been stepping up, the concepts in their songs. I've been stepping up the beats even more. So we just been, kind of doing, our thing. And, Big Sis Birthday was a song that was created in the aftermath of him being released from WWE.
Hmm.
If it was me, I would want to let it all out on the song, so I let it all out in the beat, sent it to him, and was like, "Hey, just go on it and do your thing." So the cool thing with that is, I've been kind of working on the production for the new album Tears. Don't know how many songs on it yet, maybe like 6 or 7. I'm not sure, but that comes out March 18th. I think you guys are gonna dig that a lot if you guys are fans of the last project Swerve said he did. And then, I got a project probably coming later this year myself. So besides that, like the production's like it's tight. And and Swerve is a real good dude. Gave me a chance with all this. So is Montezi. Montezi is the reason I ended up on the AEW album. So shouts
Nice.
out to both of those gentlemen. And without those guys, I may not have like the little bit of light on me right now.
Oh man, that's amazing. Yeah, I saw that he was coming out with this album on the 18th when he posted it on Twitter. I retweeted it and I put down great birthday gift because it actually drops on my birthday.
Oh man,
So
happy birthday.
so he was just like, oh, he gave me the thumbs up. He was like, oh, he told me enjoy. So I can't wait to listen to that one.
Yeah, man, check that out. There's a couple joints on there I'm real proud of, including Big Sis Birthday. There's a song called Last Words where I'm on the hook on that one, and it
Hmm.
features an artist named Britison Kane from the UK. That one's gonna be dope to look forward to. And there's a lot of other dope songs that I'm sure is gonna resonate to an even higher level than stuff maybe even in the past.
Nice. So you said you have a project coming out. When can we expect this?
Man, in the preliminary stages on that, but I'd like to get it going by maybe the end of the summer, if I had to
Okay.
guess. Yep.
Do we got a single in mind already?
I have some stuff recorded. I have a song with Montezi and John Connor kind of in the stash. I just actually got the vocals back on that song called "In the Trenches." I'm
Hmm.
thinking about that, and I've got other songs that are just ready to go. But you guys can follow the journey like on my YouTube channel.
Hmm.
Just type in Rich Latta. You can find me on there, and I'm always putting up vlog content and behind the scenes looks. So it's kind of like it's its own living thing. So the album will be out, but there will be pieces of it you can consume before then.
Hmm. Well, Rich, man, thank you so much for taking the time out, giving the fans a little more insight on who we are, and just letting us know what other projects you're going to be a part of. So right now, just plug in as much as you want to right now. This
For
floor, like I
sure,
said, the
man.
floor is yours.
I appreciate you having me on, Kenny, and this was a really fun thing to do. We'll have to do it again at some point. And you guys can find me. I'm a host of One Nation Radio with James Boyd on the Social Suplex Podcast Network. You guys can check that out. You can check out the Tears album, which I'm doing a lot of production on March 18th. The AEW Who We Are album available now on shopaew.com if you want a physical version. I believe streaming will be later on in April. And make sure you guys follow the YouTube channel because we're on the road to Dream Machine.
Perfect. And definitely we will have you back on again when your project is done. I will definitely have you back on so we could dissect this and you can tell me how stressful it was to get this done. And then we can go in and listen to the tracks and get more everybody's opinion. I would like to actually have this live or just have like more people that everybody could just listen to it and just have like a listening party if that's
Hey
cool with
man,
you.
let's set it up, man. Like when it's done, no problem, man. We can definitely do something like that.
All right, guys, thank you for tuning in for another edition of Conversations with Kenny, brought to you by the Call Up Podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave a review that helps me move up in the algorithm, as they call, of social media. Um, don't forget to check out Revolution this weekend. That is pretty much it, guys. Stay safe, continue wearing your masks, and just try to social distance as much as possible. Until next time, peace.
Peace.